I see the reflection of some of that open-mindedness in your writings. And one of your pieces that particularly stays with me is how you said there is a gap in the liberal conscience. You wrote this piece for the print. And आपने कहा कि national security के जब मुद्दे आते हैं, तो liberals and left, या left liberal as the phrase is colloquially used, I'm summarizing here, but you don't have a language. That space has today been politically appropriated completely by the right wing. ये क्यों हुआ? Because in my opinion, this is perhaps a big weakness in the opposition narrative as it tries to take on the Modi government, which makes you all disconnected at a very sentimental and very basic level with a lot of people जो इसको politically नहीं देखते. उनको लगता है कि हम भारतीय हैं, हमें प्राइड है, we are proud Indians, and हमारे जो देश की प्राइड को या इज्जत को डिफेंड करेंगे, हम उनके आभारी हैं. Why is this language missing in the opposition counter narrative?
Barkha, ever since 1992, that is to say, demolition of Babri Masjid, I've been thinking about what's wrong with us. We spend a lot of time in saying what's wrong with them. Of course, we have to say that because the direction in which BJP RSS is taking this country is absolutely dangerous, it's destructive. But we must, when we say this, there are three fingers that point to me. What is wrong with us? And I think what is wrong with us is that we, that is to say, liberal, progressive, modern, or whatever, call it by any name, left, liberal, all these are very odd names, but the problem with us is that we are disconnected with the language of the people, the sentiments of the people, and we actually do not have responses to some very genuine questions. National security was one of those examples.
आपने कहा कि वो बीजेपी नेशनल सिक्योरिटी की बात करती है और हम ह्यूमन राइट्स की बात करते हैं. ये बाइनरी कैसे हुई?
हाँ, so national security is only one example of that. I used to joke with my friends that this applies to so many things. I used to joke that we all believe that it's Manmohan Singh's job to earn for the country and my job to spend it. Mm-hmm. You can't have that division. You can't have Lal Krishna Advani looking after national borders and me looking after human rights. Right. We have to look at both. Right. For me, I'm not saying forget human rights, and all I'm saying is that if you truly care for the country, then you would look at both these things. Mm. And if you look at, say, someone like Jawaharlal Nehru, he would be, you can fault him for one position or the other, but he wouldn't say, I'm only about human rights.
Indira Gandhi.
You have to look at both things. Yeah? I think it's part of a larger failure. And the larger failure is this, that the three most precious resources that we have for politics, we've gifted it away to BJP RSS. Nationalism, religion, including Hindu religion, and cultural heritage, tradition. All these three things, we, because of our neglect, because of our contempt, because of our ignorance, we've just उनकी थाली में रख दिया है. और अब हम कह रहे हैं हाय मेरे पास कुछ नहीं, अरे ये क्या कर रहे हैं, अरे हमने ही तो किया था. And therefore a politics of future will have to be a politics that reclaims these resources. Nationalism is mine. BJP RSS have zero contribution to India's freedom struggle or to Indian nationalism. My cultural heritage is deep, plural, diverse, something anyone, anywhere in the world should be proud of. My languages are beautiful. Why don't I own it? My Hinduism is not merely something to feel ashamed of. Hinduism is something to be proud of as well. Like any other religion, there is so much that's just nonsense. And there's so much to take pride in. Why can't we relate to this? So that's, I think, is truly a failure. Failure which comes from a much deeper colonial encounter, I must say.
मैं वही पूछने वाली थी that ये deracination हुआ कैसे?
19th century onwards, you can see these two reactions to the colonial encounter. on the one hand, there is a sense of deep inferiority complex, which takes two forms. This sense of deep inferiority, encounter the British English, they come with. Initially, you see, in the early encounters, Indians didn't think much of the English. They thought they were dirty. Honestly, that's the early encounter. They thought they were dirty, they were uncivilized and so on. But once the English come with colonial power, money, guns, colonial power, then the impact is a deep sense of cultural inferiority, which produces two things, which are mirror images of each other. One is a sense of shame and disowning of my own culture. Everything is wrong with my culture. Christianity is great. Europeans are great. They have science, they have religion, they have ethics, they have norms, they have etiquette. We have none. The second is Mera Bharat Mahan, Vishwa Guru. Everything is right with us. There was a little minor problem of the last 1,000 years, but everything is fine with my country. Now, both of these are originating from a deep sense of cultural inferiority. And it's only through Gandhi and Tagore that we recover that, a genuine sense of self. They are at ease with it, ease with being Indians. The recovery of the self begins there. And unfortunately, the politics that still dominates this country is a politics that comes from both these reactions. What is called liberal progressive camp still contains a residue of that sense of shame about being Indian. And what is called this nationalist Sangha Parivar camp has this idiotic, superiority complex, which is only trying to very desperately hide a sense of inferiority and shame. What we need is a third kind of politics, which builds on a sense of being at ease with the world.
Let me give you an example of a nationalist institute that I think does pluralism very well, and that is the Indian Army. And I had no military background till I started reporting on the military. और फिर हमने देखा कि मंदिर मस्जिद गुरुद्वारा का ट्रेडिशन है आर्मी यूनिट्स में, सर्वधर्म स्थल के ट्रेडिशंस है आर्मी यूनिट्स में. आपके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर अगर हिंदू हैं लेकिन ट्रूप्स मुस्लिम है तो वो नमाज भी लीड करेंगे. आपके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर मुसलमान है लेकिन ट्रूप्स अगर ज़्यादातर हिंदू हैं तो वो आरती भी परफॉर्म करेंगे. दिस actually is not tolerance, it is participation in each other's faiths. It is what Gandhi's model of secularism was. ये हम लोग इसको tolerance, media used to frame this as a tolerance debate. The word tolerance is a bad word. You're not supposed to tolerate each other. You're supposed to celebrate each other.
Sarva dharma samabhav. I quite like that old Gandhian phrase. Although Rajiv Bhargav has a better technical name for that, principal distance. But Sarva Dharma Samabhav is still the best name for it. सबके लिए समभाव हो, सबसे सीखेंगे. अरे मैं कोई अर्जी दे के हिंदू पैदा हुआ था क्या? कोई एप्लीकेशन दे के सिख पैदा होता है क्या? होते हैं. जहाँ है उसमें कुछ बहुत सुंदर है और जो सामने है उसमें भी कुछ अच्छा है, ले लो उससे. सबको बराबर देख सको. This is our cultural heritage. So European debates on secularism don't even begin to capture what our challenge is and what our response should be. We cannot be French-style seculars. We must not be.
Correct.
We cannot be Turkey-style secularism. That collapsed finally. Our secularism has to be of a very different kind. Equal respect. In official things, equal distance, and if necessary, equal intervention to be able to say, you shall have to give entry in the temples. That's intervention. But as long as it's equal, do it. So I think that's our secularism. Tolerance is not enough. Deep respect, equal respect. And in formal things, equal distance. That's what you need.